Welcome to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to all viewers, subscribers, supporters. So to the point. The GM 2.4 Ecotec engine is a naturally aspirated four-cylinder gasoline engine that has been a long-standing offering in various General Motors vehicles, particularly in compact and mid-size cars and SUVs. It's part of the broader Ecotec family, which emphasizes efficiency and modularity. While designed for broad appeal, it has also garnered a reputation for some common, significant issues. Review and opinions. Adequate performance. The 2.4 Ecotec provides sufficient power for most daily driving needs in the vehicles it powers, e.g., Chevrolet Equinox, Malibu, GMC Terrain, Buick Verano. It's not a performance engine, but offers a decent balance for commuting and family transport. Power output typically ranges from 164 to 182 horsepower. Decent fuel economy. Historically, when first introduced, its fuel efficiency was competitive for a naturally aspirated engine of its size, thanks to features like direct injection and variable valve timing. However, compared to newer, smaller turbocharged engines, it falls behind in ultimate efficiency. Refinement. Generally, it's considered reasonably smooth and quiet for a four-cylinder engine, with design features like balanced shafts to reduce vibrations. Reliability. Mix. This is where opinions diverge significantly. While some owners have trouble-free experiences, the 2.4 Ecotec has a well-documented history of common and often costly problems, leading to a mixed reputation for reliability. Many find it less reliable than other Ecotec variants or competitor engines. Advantages. Simpler design. Compared to turbo, being naturally aspirated means fewer complex components, no turbocharger, intercooler, which can theoretically lead to lower initial repair costs for nonspecific engine issues. Widely available parts. Due to its widespread use across many GM models, parts are generally easy to find. Regular fuel compatible. Designed to run on regular unleaded gasoline, keeping fuel costs down. Predictable power delivery. Offers linear acceleration without turbo lag. Disadvantages. Significant and common reliability issues. This is the primary drawback. Specific, well-known problems can lead to expensive repairs, often making it a less desirable used car engine. Less low-end torque. As a naturally aspirated engine, it lacks the immediate low-end punch of turbocharged engines, requiring higher RPMs for stronger acceleration. Not a performance engine. It won't satisfy drivers looking for spirited driving or rapid acceleration, especially in heavier vehicles. Outdated efficiency. While good for its era, its fuel economy is generally surpassed by newer, smaller displacement turbocharged engines. Faults and breakdowns. The 2.4 Ecotec has several notorious common problems that owners and mechanics frequently report. Excessive oil consumption. This is arguably the most widespread and costly issue. It's often attributed to poorly designed, thinner piston rings, oil control rings, that were prematurely, allowing oil to bypass into the combustion chamber and burn off. Some PCV, positive crankcase ventilation, system designs also contribute by pulling excessive oil vapor into the intake. This can lead to frequent topping off, catalytic converter damage, and ultimately engine failure if oil levels aren't constantly monitored. GM has had lawsuits over this issue, and some extended warranties were offered. Timing chain problems. This is another major issue. The timing chain itself, and more commonly the hydraulic tensioners and guides, can wear prematurely. Low or poor quality oil, often exacerbated by the oil consumption issue, can starve the hydraulic tensioners, leading to slack in the chain. Symptoms include a rattling noise from the engine, especially on cold start, and check engine lights related to camshaft position. If left unaddressed, a stretched or broken timing chain can lead to catastrophic engine damage, as it's an interference engine where valves and pistons can collide. GM did update parts on newer 2.4 engines to help with the tensioners, but the issue persisted. Carbon buildup. Like most direct injection engines, the 2.4 Ecotec is prone to carbon buildup on the intake valves. This occurs because fuel is sprayed directly into the cylinders, not over the intake valves, so there's no washing effect. Over time, Carbon deposits restrict airflow, leading to rough idle, misfires, reduced power, and decreased fuel efficiency. Walnut blasting is often required for cleaning. Rear main seal leaks. This is a common point for oil leaks, often seen on models with higher mileage. It can be exacerbated by PCV system issues, causing excessive crankcase pressure. PCV system issues. As mentioned, a common problem where the PCV orifice can get clogged, leading to overpressurization of the crankcase and blowing out seals, most commonly the rear main seal. Fuel consumption. Fuel consumption for the 2.4 Ecotec is generally decent for its size, but can be negatively impacted by issues like carbon buildup or excessive oil consumption. Chevrolet Equinox and GMC Terrain 2.4. Official EPA highway ratings were often around 32 miles per gallon US. Real-world combined averages typically fall into the mid-20s mpg US, often around 22 to 26 miles per gallon. Chevrolet Malibu 2.4 could see combined figures in the high 20s mpg US. Timing. The GM 2.4 Ecotec engine uses a timing chain. This system is designed to be maintenance-free for the life of the engine. However, as noted in the faults section, premature wear of the timing chain and its components, especially tensioners, is a well-known problem, often linked to oil consumption and inadequate lubrication. Oil type, and change interval. Oil type. GM specifies Dexos 1 Gen 2 or newer Dexos 1 Gen 3. Full synthetic engine oil. For most 2.4 Ecotec applications, the recommended viscosity is 5W30. Always confirm the exact recommendation in your vehicle's owner's manual. Using the correct Dexos specification is crucial due to its formulation to protect against LSBI and maintain engine cleanliness. Oil capacity. The oil capacity for the 2.4 Ecotec is typically around 5 quarts, approximately 4.7 liters. Oil change interval. GM vehicles with the 2.4 Ecotec use an oil life monitoring system, OLMS, which typically recommends oil changes between 7,500 to 10,000 miles or 12 months, whichever comes first, when using Dexos synthetic oil. Crucial note, due to the severe and widespread oil consumption issues and timing chain problems, it is highly recommended by many owners and mechanics to perform oil changes much more frequently, regardless of the OLMS. Intervals of 3,000 to 5,000 miles or 6 months are often advised, especially if you experience any oil consumption. It is also critical to check your oil level frequently, at least once a month, or more often if you suspect consumption, and top it off as needed to prevent severe engine damage from low oil levels. Many catastrophic failures are linked to owners not realizing their engine was critically low on oil between standard change intervals. Versions and history. The 2.4 Ecotec engine is part of the first and second generations of the Ecotec family, codenamed L850, which began production in the early 2000s. The Ecotec line aimed to be a global, modular four-cylinder engine family, replacing older GM four-cylinders like the Family 2 and Quad 4. Key versions of the 2.4 Ecotec include LE5. This was one of the early and widely used 2.4 Ecotec variants, featuring variable valve timing, VVT. It was primarily port-injected. LE9, an E85 flex-fuel compatible version of the LE5. LAF. This version introduced gasoline direct injection, GDI, to the 2.4 Ecotec. This is where many of the oil consumption and carbon buildup issues began to become prominent. LEA, an updated version of the LAF, still with direct injection, and used in many popular models during the peak of its reliability struggles. This is the version most commonly associated with oil consumption and timing chain problems. LUK, a version adapted for specific markets or applications. LAT, a turbocharged version of the 2.4, less common than the naturally aspirated variants, used in some specific models. Notable applications. The 2.4 Ecotec engine was used in a vast array of GM vehicles, particularly in the 2000s and 2010s. Chevrolet Equinox, 2010 to 2017. GMC Terrain, 2010 to 2017. Chevrolet Malibu, several generations, as base engine. Chevrolet Impala, some generations, as base engine. Buick Regal, Buick LaCrosse, Buick Verano, Chevrolet Captiva Sport, Pontiac G6, Saturn Aura, Saturn Vue, Chevrolet HHR, Chevrolet Cobalt, and Pontiac G5, some higher trim levels. The GM 2.4 Ecotec is an engine with a complicated legacy. While it offered adequate power and decent efficiency when new, its propensity for significant and expensive reliability issues, particularly excessive oil consumption and timing chain problems, makes it a cautious recommendation for used car buyers. Diligent maintenance, especially regular oil level checks and frequent oil changes, is paramount to mitigating these known weaknesses. Thank you for watching the video, and I invite you to subscribe to the MOTO Freak channel. Greetings to everyone, and see you in the next episode. See you soon.